The issue I chose to present is bride burnings. Bride burnings are when a wife's husband burns her to death because he was not satisfied with the dowry she and her family offered. A dowry is the money, property, or any other goods that a woman brings to a marriage. Dowry is different from voluntary bridal gifts because it is a demand from the husband and his family. It usually increases until the bride's family is no longer able to pay it. Husbands are also usually able to get away with bride burnings because they say it was suicide or a kitchen fire. This is not the case though. The husband, or even sometimes the husband's family, sprays the wife in kerosene, then lights her on fire. The history of bride burnings is hard to trace. It has been around for a very long time. The idea probably came from something known as sati. This is when a widow would jump in her dead husband as her dead husband was getting cremated, burning herself to death. At first, this was voluntary and done out of grief, but after a while, it was something that was expected, and many widows got pressured into doing this. Bride burnings are practiced in India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. It is most prominent in northern India, however. Some Indians who've moved to the UK and the US have even brought this tradition with them. The factors that have most heavily influenced bride burnings are patriarchy and male supremacy. Male supremacy is the main driving factor of the dowries, which then causes the bride burnings. In Hindu culture, which is the predominant religion in India, males are valued higher than females. This is why the male's family is allowed to make such unreasonable demands for a dowry from the bride's family. Many believe that education would help fix the problem of dowries and bride burnings, but this is unlikely, since the people in India who have not received as much education have far less problems with bride burnings and dowries. The problem of bride burnings and dowries most deeply affects the well-off class in northern India. The constant threat that bride burnings pose cause new brides to be insecure and scared of living with their husbands' families. Once the bride's family is no longer able to pay the dowries, she becomes simply an object of her husband's family, and she constantly feels like her life is in danger. She cannot go back to her parents because it would ruin the family honor. The concept of family honor is very strong and important in India. It would not look good for the parents if their daughter came back after marriage. There is no safe place for the bride in danger to go because everyone believes in saving the marriage at all costs and their tradition of family honor. Even police and law enforcement officials convince these brides to go back to their husbands, where the abuses continued and sometimes followed by bride burnings. Bride burnings and the custom of dowries have also caused a rampant increase in the abortion of female babies. There are many more males than females in India because people abort their female babies when they find out they are having girls. They do not want to have to go through the trouble of giving a dowry when their daughters grow up and thus putting their entire family in danger. Although there have been things done to try and rid India of this terrible practice, there has been no success. In 1961, the Dowry Prohibition Act was passed, which outlawed the practice of exchanging dowries. But this did little to stifle the tradition. It is still as prevalent as ever in many areas. The only difference is that now people do it in secret. The main reason that so few dowries are reported is that the dowry giver is equally responsible as the dowry taker. If the father of the bride tried to report the dowries after they became unmanageable, he would still be in trouble for the ones that he did pay. The conclusion I have come to is that bride burnings will never truly stop, even though laws make it illegal, until the people of India are actually willing to change the century-old values and attitudes that they hold. Even though, to the outside world, this may seem like an ancient practice that occurred centuries ago, it remains a struggle Indian women have to deal with every day of their lives.